What to eat on ketogenic program. It is important to understand that ketogenic lifestyle is not just about burning fat, losing weight, and looking better. The main purpose of ketogenic program should be to improve your health. Today, I'd like to share with you what are the best foods you can eat to achieve that goal. The ratio of micronutrients on ketogenic program should be around 65% of fat to 30% of protein to 5% of carbohydrates. I have explained in a previous video how much of each you should eat in your situation. But before we do that, I'd like to answer a question that pops up quite often. Should we actually count macros and calories? There are a lot of people out there who will claim that you don't actually have to count calories and macros in order to lose weight and burn fat. I would agree that some people who eat a lot of fat and low carb will not have to count calories, but not because it doesn't matter. It's because they naturally don't feel the cravings to eat a lot of calories, and because of that they will be losing weight. Another explanation would be that their metabolism is quite high and they would naturally burn more calories than most people. In this case, they probably don't have to count calories and macros because they are naturally burning more, and therefore they have a feeling that they don't need to do it. The biological truth is that gaining or losing weight is directly related to the energy balance. So if you eat more calories during the day than you burn, you're going to gain weight, and if you're eating less calories than your body needs, you're going to lose weight. It is also important not to cut your calories too drastically, because in this case your metabolism will slow down and you will not be losing weight if this is your goal. But as I said, on the ketogenic program, number one benefit is improvement of your health. So let's talk about what food to eat in order to maintain good health and probably even improve it. There are three main macronutrients that your body needs in order to function: fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Let's talk about fat first, as this is the main macronutrient on keto program. Most calories on a keto program should come from monosaturated fats, such as unrefined olive oil, flaxseed oil, and different fish oils. For frying or cooking purposes, we should use good quality fats such as coconut oil, lard, and butter. Rapeseed oil is also a good choice for frying. Avocado, which interestingly is a fruit, is also an amazing source of fats. It's a good idea to include nuts and seeds in your program, but it's important to remember that nuts contain quite a lot of carbohydrates, so you just have to be careful while counting the amount of nuts that you're going to eat on your program. There are a lot of benefits of using coconut oil, not only to cook but also eat it raw. It is a saturated fat, but it is really very beneficial to our health. Also MCT oil, that is made out of coconut oil, but it's a much stronger extracted version. Butter is also a good fat. It is saturated and we have to be careful while heating it because it's easily burned, but it tastes great and you can add it to the coffee and make a bulletproof coffee, which we'll talk about later. Let's talk about fats we should avoid. I put mayonnaise on this list because mayonnaise has a lot of oils in it that we don't really know where they come from. Mayonnaise also has a lot of chemicals and carbohydrates in it that we want to avoid. If you really love mayonnaise, it's not the end of the world to use it, but I would avoid it if you can. I would recommend avoiding vegetable oils. They often have a certain amount of trans fats in them, and also they come from very unreliable sources. The worst fats we can eat and we should definitely avoid are the trans fats, such as margarine and different butter-like spreads. Also, trans fats can be found in cakes, pizzas, especially frozen pizzas, different biscuits, cookies, crackers, and fast food. They are very harmful, cancerogenic, and we should absolutely avoid them. Let's talk about protein. The best sources of protein on keto program are found in eggs, poultry like chicken and turkey, beef, beans, cottage cheese, white cheese, seafood, and fish. The best fish to eat are salmon, cod, trout, mackerel, tuna, and anchovies. We already talked about good fats in them. They are also a great source of protein. What protein should we avoid? I would not recommend eating a lot of processed cheese. A lot of people love cheese, including myself, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with eating a certain amount of cheese on our program. I would probably recommend to control the amount of cheese we eat, especially the heavy yellow cheeses, and prioritize the lean white cheeses, but good quality cheese is absolutely okay. If it comes to sausages, hams, salamis, and different fat meats, unless we know the source where they come from, I would also advise to avoid them, just because they have a lot of chemicals, a lot of antibiotics in them, and they're just not such a good quality protein, and they have a lot of saturated fat. We want to put more attention and focus to eating the monosaturated fats from olive oils and fish, as already explained. Let's talk about carbohydrates. What should we eat on a keto program to be lean, be healthy, and stay in ketosis? There are a lot of healthy, good choices when it comes to carbohydrates. Asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, celery, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, green beans, spinach, avocado, which was already mentioned, kale, and wheat bran. All of these vegetables contain a lot of fiber that is crucial for the health of our intestines. You can eat certain amounts of forest fruits such as raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries. But again, you have to be careful with the amounts you're eating because they have also carbohydrates in them. What carbohydrates should you avoid? Breads, things like pastries, ice creams, probably the obvious one, white sugar, sweets, candies, cakes, biscuits, cookies, etc. You should avoid eating simple carbohydrates such as pasta and rice, as they spike your blood sugar levels very quickly. We should avoid eating very sweet vegetables such as beetroots and potatoes. What drinks are allowed and which ones should be avoided on keto program? There are 3 very good natural fat burners we can use on a keto program: coffee, green tea, and matcha. We should also drink at least 2 liters of water per day. I'm going to show you in a separate video how to make a bulletproof coffee. It became very famous in the last couple of years, and it helps to get into ketosis quicker. We should avoid energy drinks, sodas, juices, and alcohol. Not all alcohol contains sugar in it, and there are some that we can drink and still remain in ketosis, but it is probably better to avoid alcohol altogether. Most spices are absolutely okay to use, such as oregano, pepper, parsley, turmeric, thyme, basil, and pink Himalayan salt. We could record a separate video about health benefits of turmeric, but it is an amazing spice. If there are any spices we should avoid, or maybe control the amounts we're using, those would be the onion powder, as it's got quite high levels of sugar, bay leaves, allspice, cardamom, cinnamon, chili, garlic, and ginger. They probably won't kick you out of ketosis, and they are still okay to use, but in big amounts, those carbohydrates can also add up. Keto program doesn't have to be boring. There is a lot of food you can choose from to make healthy, tasty meals. In the next video, I'll explore in more detail the benefits of ketogenic lifestyle, and I hope that you're going to enjoy it as well. See you then!